Hello, this is Marvelous Action Figures and I'm Paul, and this is my first NECA figure. This is the Phantom of the Opera, Ultimate Phantom. This is based on a 1925 silent movie starring Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera. And I think NECA have really got the market sewn up on these sort of retro genre monsters figures. So I'm excited to get into this. The reason I bought this is I want this to be a Jack the Ripper variant for my Mezco Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and I'm hoping it will. Now, it is a 7-inch figure, so it isn't going to work on a straight up scale, which you'll see later on. But in terms of look and feel for it, I thought it might be quite good. But I'll start now with the box. And because the box is a bit of an event with NECA, I think this is my first one. Why not have a look at the box? So the brilliant sort of representation of the original poster for the movie on the front and the logo across the top. You see the figure, so you get artwork and you get the figure, some great representation of the figure with the many accessories that it comes with. More on that in a moment. And then another image on the side of the box as well, so it's a really, really good representation. Inside, I love this, you've got the little Velcro hook on it, and then you've got a full-length picture of the figure again as well, which is very, very good. I do like that. And then you get to see all the accessories and everything laid out in the box, and I love that sort of inner sort of blister pack style, because you want to see the quality that you're getting. And then here's a great little insert as well, which was a bonus because I didn't see it until obviously took the figure out, is you've got this you can use as a backdrop, so you've got these sort of steps on there as well. Very, very cool. So here he is. Here is the Ultimate Phantom out of the box. I mean, my very much first thoughts on this are going to be that it is going to be a display rather than play. We'll look at the articulation. There's a reason why at the moment. Beautiful head sculpt, paint applications are fantastic. It is straight up Lon Chaney from the movies. Brilliant, brilliant work for the cost of the figure as well. So let's look at the articulation and the paint detail on it. So it's got this sort of vintage feel to it already. The application, I mean, look at the sort of, there's like the real sort of weather. It almost looks like a sort of grainy black and white movie reel from back in the 20s. So it works really well. They really captured the era well, I think, and there's great detail, the sort of the folds and the creases in the costume and the cummerbund as well, and what he's wearing. It's really, really well worked out. So as a display piece, I do think this is excellent, right down to the creases in the trousers and the look and feel of it. And for those sort of smaller, sort of smart formal dress wear shoes, it actually stands okay as well. So quite pleased with that. Loads of accessories. You've got this ghostly, ghoulish sort of screaming second head, which is very, very well done. A more sort of neutral, almost sort of confused type staring look on it, and then this sort of really maniacal, and this would probably be my Jack the Ripper head, this sort of maniacal, grinning, macabre look to it. And then a weird one, I don't know, I need to look at the movie, a weird one with a sort of gag across the mouth. Maybe that's the original character before he become the Phantom. I don't know. Let me know, Phantom and Opera friends. Extra hands, so you've got sort of open, sort of pointing, you know, sort of ghoulish type hands. The weathering, the paint detail is great. They look old, they look vintage. They are so well thought out. I'm really impressed with the style of the NECA figure. You've got a hand here for holding his fedora hat, which goes with it, which is a very nice piece. Not entirely Jack the Ripper-ish. I may have to find or get a custom top hat that will go with it, but it holds out really well, so that will come into handy later. And then this soft goods cloak is brilliant. Really impressed with that as well, and it's got armholes in it as well, so you can either wear it as a cloak or sort of like an over jacket. So impressed with that. The articulation is limited. The head movement is quite good. Arms up to here. It is a single elbow. The bicep is attached to the butterfly there, so there isn't any that movement, and a single elbow movement. So the articulation is limited, which I was kind of expecting, to be honest. Certainly to what I've seen, there's a full twist, like right the way around. So that's really good. That will help with a few sort of different poses. And then there's a reasonable ab crunch. It's not too bad at all. No movement back at all, really. legs out to here, which is quite decent. He won't be karate kicking anyone. That's not his thing. And a single joint on the knee and a very limited pivot on the ankle and a hinge. So not the greatest in terms of articulation. So it may or may not work for what I want to do. Some ghoulish standing in darkened alleyways as Victorian era Jack the Ripper probably will work. But in terms of getting into action pose with the Batman or running and that sort of thing, maybe not the greatest. But what I am going to do is let's have a look now at how he does pose up. Let's take a look. Okay, poses are limited, but not too bad. Here he is with that cloak on, and it's wired as well, which is great. I was not expecting that. Really, really impressed with that. This is a great Jack the Ripper look for me. As I say, I may invest in a custom top hat for the figure because that would work a lot better. And then as a silhouette and as a look and feel to it, that is giving me good Jack the Ripper vibes. So what I wanted it for is probably going to work. Look at the beautiful detail on this cloak. So I'm super impressed with that. Now I've got him arms out here rather than through the inserts for it. So it's a cloak rather than a coat at the moment, but it works really, really well. One other accessory quickly to show is the cane. Now that is very Jack the Ripper, very Victorian era. So that will get a lot of use. Not the longest, so it won't work entirely well. I'll have to get him in the right pose for it. But it's a good accessory to have, an extra unique feature. It looks really well in that hand. Okay, 7-inch, so let's talk scale. Here is Maestro Unions for a Planet Veteran William. That works well. Good little set of monsters together. They go great, obviously. Phantom of the Opera and a werewolf. Perfect. Good size to him. This 7-inch figure works really well with Veteran William. Very pleased with that look. Sticking with 7-inch figures, here is the McFarlane Batman Hushed version. Again, not the greatest with articulation. This is not the Batman that I really want to put with this one, but I do like that. That works well. He's a bit of a Mad Hatter vibe going on with Lon Chaney's Phantom here, so that's not a bad set. I could see that working in some action pieces. So yeah, two good looking figures which match up well together. Something very different that you wouldn't get in the same universe. It's the 3-0 DLX Iron Patriot. Now, this is a little bit bigger than a 6-inch, a little bit smaller than a 7-inch. So it scales okay with it. It works quite well. But it works much better with 6-inch figures. But I did just want to try it out and see how it looked against it. And he's killed him. Another figure I really wanted to put him with. So this is the Mezco 112 Batman Gotham by Gaslight. As you can see, it is smaller. So scale and perspective for some Akbar photos. Going to need to do a bit of a play around with that. But as a look and feel to it, those two work perfectly together. The sort of Victorian era, early sort of 1920s mix works perfectly. So that is going to look good in pictures, I think. Okay, my friends, that is my first NECA. I quite like it. It is very much as I suspected it would be, though. I think it's more about display rather than play in terms of some of that articulation. But as a look and feel for this character, it is glorious. It really is. I do like it. And it will work for Jack the Ripper. And I've got options with this cloak here, and I will probably get a different hat for him and maybe a longer cane. But I am impressed with him. I'm quite pleased I've invested in a NECA. Let me know what you think of not only this figure, but other NECAs that you think I might be interested in. Some of the Predators look good. And that is it for now. Like and subscribe if you're not. Thank you if you are. Genuinely appreciate it. See you all on another video. Bye for now.